All right, let's tiptoe on the one side, and I want you to twist your toes. So you're sort of rubbing underneath your foot to the ground. Keep going. Here comes Julia. And then if you can do that on the other side. So twisting action, rubbing toes against the ground. Just kind of creating a little bit of friction, a bit of heat under there. And then again on the other side. Here's Julia. Hi. And let's do that the other way. And then I'd like you to wipe. You're wiping dirt from the base of your foot, splaying your toes as you do it. So you spread your toes out. Helps to stimulate the nerve endings in the feet. And then we're going to do the same thing we did with the toes, but with the heel. So turny heel, pushing the heel into the floor, trying to create a little bit of friction there. And then over on the other side, turning the heel, pushing it down a little bit, creating a bit of friction there. And again. I was listening to Dr. Chatterjee's podcasts, and they were talking about the benefits of foot wiping. So I thought, oh, we could throw that into a warm-up, actually. Okay, so foot wipe again, spreading your toes, again creating a bit of friction under the foot. Used as a tool to help with hip, knee, lower limb pain. Last couple, and then let's think posture. So I want you to lift up through your chest. You have your fingertips interlaced behind you. So particularly if you've been on a desk and over a device today, I want you to just lean back a little bit and then release. We'll go into what we call spinal extension, where we lean back, lift the breastbone, and then release. And let's do it again. As you do it, try and lift your arms and push your pelvis forwards. And then release. Breathing in as you lift. Breathing out and release. And let's do that again. Arching back. 2 more. Eye gaze up to the ceiling. Eye gaze forward. And last one. Eye gaze up to the ceiling. And then release. Rolling our shoulders now, coming up to our ears, squeezing the blades and pressing down. Squeeze and push down. Onto the toes, and then onto the heels. So rocking from the toes to the heels. And we do 2 more. Final one. And then circling the wrists, circling the foot. Try to keep the arm itself still and the leg still. Spreading the fingers and toes and then bringing them back together. Opening the fingers, closing, and then reversing. Spreading the toes and then closing them together. And let's release. And we give that a go on the other side, circling. Spreading them out, coming back together and reverse. Lengthening up through the crown of the head. Just about got over the half marathon legs. We had to stop and do a bit of an ankle wriggle along the way. Okay, so as requested by Damon, we're going to work on inner thigh opening. So if you could take your feet wide on your mat and turn your toes outwards. Bending through the knee, if you can push your tailbone back and just bring your hand to your lengthened leg, and then give that a go on the other side. Now, I want you to notice the direction of your toes. Have them sort of slightly angled out, but not too far. Notice what's the feeling like based on positioning of your feet. Are we getting that stretch on the inner thigh? If not, try pushing your body weight back a little bit into your heels. And on the leg that's straightened out, try not to lift your little toe side. Push your little toe side down. You can stay with this version or next level. We bring our hand to the floor as we reach up on the other side. The other way. One more on each side. Breathe. So last one. And then walking the hands in. And we bring our hands to our knees and circle down, round, and then back the other way. So again, down and round, and then back the other way. Let's do it again. Make the circle bigger if that feels appropriate with the knees today. We got a musical knee on one side today. And last one. Opening the arms, we're going to swing. Up, tap, up, tap. As you do it, can you lengthen your posture? Changing to the other side. Up, tap, up, tap. Taking the feet out to the side, turning the toes out, bend the knees, plie, and open. Press your knees back. As you come down, can we hold? And then release. You might go a bit lower, you might be doing enough as you are. Find what works for you. Two more. And final one. Let's walk our feet in. And lifting up at the back. Lift, tap down. Pointy toes, lift, tap down. Really straighten that leg at the back. Your buttock kicking in as you lift and lower. Two more. Let's give that a go on the other side. Point your toes. Lift, tap down. Lift, tap down. So a little bit of kick up. Reaching into your toes. And the buttock muscle working, particularly if you've been sat down a lot at desk today. Helps to get the blood flow moving. Alrighty. Can we come down to our backs now? And breathe in and breathe out. Are you looking for online classes that support you with getting more me time? You want to get supple, strong, feel less stressed, get in the driving seat, but actually perhaps you've noticed that following videos on YouTube isn't actually helping you commit. It's not like the teacher reaches out and says, correct your hips, bring your knee back, move your posture back. And this is the problem. So, of course, you can hit subscribe to get more from the Zigs YouTube channel. But let's face it, we're not going to send our children to a school without a teacher or a tutor. I mean, what's their life going to be like if they're going to learn in that way. So my name's Claire Louise Freeman. I'm the business owner of Zigs Exercise, and I like to encourage you to join me and my community online, where we get together via Zoom and we practice Pilates conditioning, yoga stretches, mobility. And the thing is, we get to actually talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting your time off during holidays. It's the commitment that gets the motivation. So why wait? Book in, give me a call, and I'll see you on the other. What's getting in the way, you know, why it's not worked so far. And sometimes the hardest bit is actually just picking up the phone and talking it through. So brave pants on. I work with all sorts of people from various walks of life, different shapes and sizes. And often people who do work with me do it because they say that I do it in a very non-judgmental way. Of course, it's free to talk, so you can click the link in the description box below, and we can get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. There's no pressure here. On the call, I'll listen in to, you know, what you need support with, what your personal needs are, and I can answer any of your questions about our online Pilates and yoga, where we do it together in community. Why wait? This stuff doesn't get any easier as we get older. We work with lots of busy parents, grandparents, business owners, NHS professionals, private school teachers, regular school teachers. So if that feels like you and you need that support and accountability on getting it done, that's the thing. If we've got the sessions booked in regularly, that means we're much more likely to show up. And it's that regularity that people are often missing. You know, they take me down here. Okay, some rolling. So tucking and then coming up. We breathe out as we roll back. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale as we roll. And we do it without putting our feet on the floor. Straightening up through the back. Breathe out. Breathe in. We're going to do the seal. 1, 2, 3 taps. And then roll. Take hold of your ankles as you do the 1, 2, 3, and then roll. Tougher version, do the legs open version. So we extend and then tap, 2, 3, and then roll. Find balance, chest lifted, 3 taps and then the roll. Find your own version of it, make it your own signature move, something like that. Final one. Alrighty, let's release. Going to take our feet forwards, pointing, and then flexing. Point your toes, flex your toes. Now, can you see yourself in your screen? What's your posture looking like? Can you lengthen, lift your rib cage? Hands resting here on your thighs. We're going to come up, arms back by the ears, eye gaze looking upwards, eye gaze looking to your belly as you fold and come down. Holding where it feels probably a little bit uncomfortable, just for a few seconds. And then back up, pointing the toes and then flexing and then pointing, coming down, down, looking towards the belly and back up, reaching and rounding. Lower, 2, 3, And let's do it again. Elongate your spine, lift up your rib cage, looking up and coming down, down, down. Can we do 2 more? And just a little bit further on your next couple. And final one. Okay, good job. So from here, we're going to go wide with our feet. And we point the toes, lifting up through the chest. We're going to rotate, flex our feet, and then reach across towards our opposite foot, bringing our nose down towards our knee. 2, 3. And then pointy toes, lifting up, turning and reaching across, coming down, down, down. Breathe in and breathe out. Down, down, down. Lifting the chest, pointy, and then flexy. Down, down, down. Now if you want to challenge yourself, try going a little bit wider. So perhaps it might feel a bit uncomfortable. Down, down, down. Now we do another 4 of those. Breathe. Just using this time. Have some breathing space, especially if you've had a busy day. Clear the head out by moving the body. Okay, so from here we're going to flex our feet, take a walk like this with our hands, going wide now with our hands towards our feet, and bringing our chest down towards the ground. Down, down, down. And let's come back up. Just do that 2 more times. Pointing the toes, coming down, down, down. And for me, I'm using my hands just to push the feet slightly wider, depending on what's going on around the groin. A tricky one after birth. Dare do it now. So, 1 more. Down, down, down. And if we can, shake a leg. And let's come and do some core. So some Pilates core conditioning. We are going to take ourself into a sort of scissor action. 1 up, 1 down, pointing the toes, and then flexing. We do pointy toes for 2, and then flexy toes for 2. All about feet tonight. Pointy toes, and then flexy toes. Can take the feet a bit further away, or straight leg version, tougher option. Now what's the core doing? Can you draw your belly button muscle in? Flexing your feet and then pointing. More advanced, bring the upper body into it. Couple. Alrighty, bend the knees. Let's place our hands here on top of the knees together. I'd like you to circle your knees around like this, going around and then reversing back in the opposite direction. Reversing. In the opposite direction. So you're sort of really massaging the lower back against the ground. Alright, final one. So from here, if you can, roll onto your front. I'd like you to do this and bend your knees. Notice my knees are open, my heels are touched together like that. feel for your hip bones on the ground, and I want you to hover one leg so the thigh bone is off the floor and you're using your buttock muscle to lift that leg, and then lower. On the other side, so you're hovering your thigh bone, both hip bones are still on the ground, and then lower. Now you can either keep going with alternate sides or lift both at the same time and then lower for level 2. If you're moving up to level 2, often the pubic bone will start to arch back. So one of the things I do is I push my pubic bone down into the floor as I lift, but I'm also conscious that may feel quite different for a guy. The point of it is to keep some elongation in the lower back. Breathing in as we lift. More advanced, if we've got a happy, strong back, we can add some lift like this with the upper body. Taking the arms away and hovering through the arms like this, and then coming down. So find your own level with it. Working on conditioning, strengthening the glutes and the back muscles. Okay, another good one if we've been doing a lot of desk work today. Helping to counteract that posture. Inhaling on the lift, exhaling on the lower. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling on the lift, exhaling on the lower. So final one, and then from here we're going to bring our forearm down like this. So let's now move into a plank. So coming up onto the knees for the half plank or into the full plank on the toes. Now whichever version you choose, we're going to do a little rocking plank. So we go forwards and then backwards, forwards and then backwards. Now as you're doing it, try to keep your chest open. Again, if you can see yourself in your screen, does your back look like it's in an alignment? Use it as a mirror. Breathe. Alrighty, let's rest off. And we bring 1 foot forwards. Now if you're on a wooden floor, you might find a block or something like that under your back knee, or cushion is useful. I'm on a nice padded floor in our studio. We're going to square up the hips. You can always roll a bit of mat up, put it under your knee if it's a bit uncomfortable. So if we can do ta-da, arms like this wide. You can either stay with this version or more advanced, requires a bit of balance as we get hold of this foot behind, bringing the heel into the bottom, not literally, heel towards your bottom, and this front foot may wobble. Welcome the wobble, but see if you can sort of sandwich that front big toe joint down to help focus the balance. Looking at something still can help. Noticing what you say in your head can help. So test of balance, and then let's release. And we'll go back to our plank. Remember which leg you did. It's a memory test. So we're going to rock again, go forwards, backwards, opening the chest. Think about your posture in your shoulders. Pressing your shoulder blades down, keeping your chest open. Is the core active? Last couple. Final one. And then moving again into that lunge stretch where we've got the other leg now forwards. And if you're using the padding, we want to hit under that back knee. So can we square up our hips? Go wide with our arms. We lift the ribs up and open the chest. Breathing into the belly. Breathing abdominally. Deep down into the belly. We've had a busy, stressful day. Often our breath can get quite stuck in our chest and the upper part. We can be breathing quite shallowly if we've had quite a stressy day. So tuning into those belly breaths helps us to bring us back into that right relaxed state. And we get a hold of the foot. Those of you want to nudge on with the stretch. Ooh, hello, welcome the wobble. heel coming in. And we sandwich that big toe down at the front. Breathing useful. Okay, good job. Do you need a drink? Now's a good time, especially if you're playing a bit of catch up. Grab a drink. And if you'd like to help yourself to some weights, so I'm going to turn the palms to face up with the weights. You press your shoulders down. And I just want you to slide the elbows back and then move your weights forward. Slide your elbows back and then move your weights forward. And do it again. Thinking about your posture as you do it, so you're elongating up through the crown of your head. Next level, we go forwards, outwards, and back in. So elbows coming back, forwards, outwards, and back in. More advanced option, we go back, forwards, outwards, and upwards. And back in. So choose your level. Breathe. And we do 2 more. Choose the version. And last one. Alrighty, and then hanging the weights down at your side. I'd like you to roll your shoulders up and back. Try to squeeze your blades as you do it. Press down. I want you to turn your head and look over your shoulder. And then move your head to the middle. Roll the shoulder. And then turn. What can you see behind you on that side? And then move to the middle. And let's do it again. Rolling back, turn and look behind. And roll. Can you go a little bit further now with a rotation where you look behind? And let's do that again. Roll, turn and look behind. We're going to do 1 more on each side. Breathe. And last one. Allowing your head to drop one side. Roll your head down and round. And let your head drop the other way. The side. And drop down and round. Taking the feet now just a little bit wider than the hip. I'm going to drop into a squat. I want you to think about the positioning of your feet. Where's your body weight in your feet as you come down? Lengthen your lower back. Activate your core. If you feel you've got posture, then we add some reach forwards. Warriors on the prowl. More advanced, if we've got happy back, neck and shoulders today, add some overhead lift. Breathe. And we do 3 more. Bring your body weight back into your heels, helps to offload the knees a little bit. And final one. Alrighty, let's release off. Popping the weights down. And let's take our feet wide and move into some yoga poses. So on this side, if you could turn your foot out, but over here, if you can angle in, I'm going to shift the hip across, slide the hand down the shin, and go long with our top arm, bringing our head back, lengthening up that top arm. We bring this arm over by the ear. You can either stay with that version, or if it feels appropriate, we're going to bring that hand down and swap the other hand, and then keep turning so we now face the other way, stacking the arms one above the other. Breathe. Bending into the knee. Switching to our warrior pose. So we've got quite a decent space between our feet. If we can sink down, can we get this thigh parallel to the ground, or at least heading in that direction? Relaxing the shoulders. Breathe. And we straighten out through the leg. We're going to turn, so straight legs on both sides as we move into our triangle pose, softening our shoulders. Often the head will gravitate forwards. Can you nudge it back? Tune into your peripheral vision. What can you see in your periphery? Bend into the knee. Actually, no, wrong sequence. Straight leg, we're going to swap the hands. Jump in the gun. Let's do that on this one on the other side. So stacking the arms as we turn for more advanced, or you can stay with that first version. Breathe. Bend into the knee and switch into our warrior pose again. A good space between the feet. Now on that back foot, often the heel maybe kind of turned in too much. Push the heel away from you and the little toe edge, push your body weight out towards that little toe edge there. Let's release. And we're going to bring our feet together, and now's a good time for a drink. Okay. So let's move onto all fours. Have you got a stick there? So head, shoulders, tailbone against the stick. And we extend a leg and lift. And then bring it back down. And the aim is to keep our stick steady as we go into Pilates leg pull. We'll hover the leg in the air without the stick going off on a mission. If we've got that, we start to reach the opposite arm away from the leg. Sometimes sort of pushing the stick slightly further above the head helps it to be a bit more head heavy. We're having sticky issues. once we're there for third option, hello, she says, we're going to keep our opposite arm and leg hovered and then bend the leg so the heel closes towards the buttock. So we're using the stick to just really monitor posture and our ability to maintain the stability in the core. Heel towards the buttock. Opposite arm and leg reaching. And we do one more on each side. And final one. And then from here, can we meet up in the downward dog? If you're navigating wrist injury, remember you can do your downward dog on your elbows. Quite the same, but good alternative. We're going to wriggle our feet back, press down through the heel on one side as we flex the toes on the other. Pushing the heel down, flexing the toes on the other side, relaxing into shoulders as we do it. Breathe. Let your head and your neck really just hang loose. Again, I want you to notice what's in the periphery of your vision. Breathe. One more on each side. Requested, we're going to do another groin stretch. So if we open the knees, opening the inner thigh muscles, and bring ourselves down into forearm plank like this, pushing the buttocks back slightly. We've got our chest open, eye gaze is up. Ideally we want to do this without rounding the chest, so I think of arching my back as I push the bottom back to the heels. Breathe. Got some half marathon groin thing going on. Alrighty, so from here, and we move into a quad stretch. So if you can catch hold of your foot, make a fist with the other hand and pop that just under your forehead to allow you to breathe, and then can you keep your hips down as you bring your heel towards your bottom? If you've got the heel on your bottom, then you could try hovering the thigh off the floor. So next step would be to lift the thigh bone, breathe, and let's release and give that a go on the other side. So heel towards the bottom, or the hips down. We can get the heel onto the buttock, and we hover the thigh. The thigh bone is lifted, but the hip bones are down. The zips on these trousers were a bad idea. Oh, okay, let's ease out of that. Can we come back to our downward dog? Again, if you prefer, you can aim for elbow option today if you're navigating a wrist. For those of you who want to go up a notch, we're going to park one foot down the middle of the mat as we now sweep this leg up. And where can you get it to? Have a look up at your foot. How much height can you get? You point the toes to the ceiling. Press your heel down on that leg. It's on the floor. We're going to slowly lower that leg and transition it over to the other side. Point your toes as you do it. So you're reaching your toes up to the ceiling. Reaching your toes. Breathing deeply as you press your heel down. Breathe. Alrighty, let's release and walk our feet towards our hands. Let's have a sit down. Okay. So if you can roll yourself, use a strap if you need to come back up. And level 1 would be hooking the strap under the feet. Level 2, lifting up through the chest. Third level today, we're going to do what I call under-overs. So you take it over the head with the stick, and we go under the feet like this, and then over the top. So we roll down, touch on the floor, and then we scoop, and then we scoop back the other way. Breathing out as we lift, over and then under. So whichever version you're doing, notice your head posture. Lift and lead the movement from the chest, more so on the head. Exhaling on the lift, inhaling on the lower. One more. Once we're done, we can meet down here, interlocking the fingers over the top of the head, pointing the toes, so we've got our legs together now. Get your knees to touch, your heels to touch, and almost touching your upper arm on your ear, at least heading in that direction with your fingers interlaced, but then turning your palms outwards, so your palms are pushing away to the side wall, away from the crown of your head. Arching into the back, breathing into the belly. Good long, deep breaths now. In through your nose, filling up your belly with air, exhaling out fully. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in fully, exhaling out. And one more deep breath. I'd like you to move into glute stretch now. So if you can, bend your right leg and place it over the top of your left. Hands around the back of the thigh. You can use your hands to pull in, use your elbow to push out. You can either stay with this version, or next level we'll take the fingers around the front of the shin. For more advanced today, we're going to park our hands on top of the bridges of the feet. So we want the opposite hand on each bridge, like this. Tie ourselves up in knots. And then if you could bring your feet to the floor, push your bottom knee down, and push your top knee away. Breathing deeply. Let's release and give that a go on the other side. And left over right, hands around the back of the other thigh. So use your hands to pull in, use your elbow to push out, feeling for the stretch around the glute, the outer part of the hip. Breathe. Leveling up by interlacing the fingers around the front of the shin. Breathe. minutes. Catch hold of the bridges of the feet. For those of you who want to go up another notch, get hold of the feet, and then if you could bring your feet to the floor. Where's the floor? There it is. Push your bottom knee down, push your top knee away. Can you get both shoulders on the ground? Sort of lift your breastbone. Deep breath into the belly. Exhaling out. Again, I want you to breathe in as fully as you can. And exhale out for as long as you can. Keep going till you can't blow out any more air. Do that one more time. Filling up. Holding your breath. And then fully exhaling out. And keep going until you can't blow out any more air. And let's release. And if you can place the soles of your feet together, and just let your knees fall apart. Rest your hands on your hips. Closing your eyes. Allow your body to relax down, let go of your shoulders. Just seeing the little muscles of the face. Open your teeth. Soften your jaw. Notice how you're feeling now versus the start of the session today. A moment to just appreciate the shift in the energy. Our legs down, so our legs straighten, bring our hands to our belly. Keeping the breath under the hands. And then sort of crossing the arms across the belly, holding our opposite shoulder. A bit of a self-hug, holding opposite shoulder. I'd like you to notice perhaps a niggle, an ache, a pain that's been holding you back, getting in the way. Attention to it for a moment and make yourself aware of what that niggle, ache, pain has been stopping you doing. What's the physical thing that it's been stopping you doing? Now noticing what the thoughts are around the niggle. What's the repeat pattern in the thinking? What do we keep saying to ourselves in our mind about it? What's the dominant thing that we say? Repeat pattern. And I want you to ask yourself the question, if we keep thinking that thought, do we still continue to get that same thing? Is there a thinking pattern that we could perhaps gravitate towards that might serve us in a better way around the ache, the pain, or the niggle. And what's the feeling around that ache, pain, or niggle? Yourself how you'd like to feel about it. If the ache, pain, or niggle was shifted, what's the feeling? Is it relief? Is it moving freely? Is it a feeling of strength? Freedom, flexibility. You could label that feeling. What would that feeling be? Take a moment to feel that feeling inside your body. And visualize what activities you would be doing if that ache, pain, or niggle was completely gone. Seeing the vision of the action that you would be taking if that ache, pain, or niggle was gone. In mind, I'd like you to bring your attention back into the room, bring your hands down to your belly. We're going to bend our legs, open our eyes, and if you can roll yourself over to the side. So I hope that's made a real difference to your day today. We can have a quick chat and a check-in.